Welcome, and thank you for clicking on this video. In this one, we're going to be checking out the Ibanez Mikro 5-string bass, model number GSRM25 in piano black. How's this low B going to sound? Let's find out together. First of all, I am filming this in the first week of January 2025, so Happy New Year to everyone out there. I hope everyone had a festive and very enjoyable holiday season. The month of December, scheduling wise, was totally bananas for me. Super busy. But I did get to play an acoustic set with my Hofner club bass, but instead of my usual Line 6 or Gallien-Kruger rig, I brought a brand new to me Ampeg RB112. And I gotta say, in partnership with my Hofner club bass, it has such a gooey, spongy low end that made a very nice pairing, and I quite enjoyed playing out with the new Ampeg. All right, back to the Ibanez. So this is one of the very few production 5 strings in a short scale. Let's quickly review the specs on this bass. This Mikro 5 string features a poplar body, a bolt-on maple neck, Jatoba fingerboard. The scale length is 28.6 inches, so it is the same scale length as the Mikro 4 string. 5 strings, of course, stock with a low B string. The pickup configuration is different than the Mikro 4. The Mikro 4 was a PJ setup. This has JJ single coils. The electronics are completely passive. Volume for the neck pickup, volume for the bridge pickup, master tone. The string spacing here at the bridge is 16.5 millimeters, so pretty standard for a 5-string Ibanez style bass. But if you're coming from the Fender world, it's quite a bit tighter. All right, well, let's check out some of the sounds you can get from this Ibanez Mikro 5. Let's start with both pickups up and the tone knob all the way up. Let's roll that tone knob down to about 50%. Let's roll the tone all the way off. We're still using both pickups here. Now let's just hear the neck pickup. So we're turning the bridge off, and these are single coils, so you can already hear some of the hum. So neck pickup only, tone knob all the way up. Let's roll that tone knob down to about 50%. Now let's close that tone knob all the way off. Front pickup. Now let's hear the bridge pickup by itself. Let's throw that tone up all the way back up again. Bridge pickup only. Tone knob, 50%. Bridge pickup. Tone knob at 0. Bridge pickup only. Now let's hear this bass in a musical context, and we'll see how the sounds fit in with the drums. We'll have several passes on this playing example. In the first pair, we'll have both pickups at 100% with the tone knob at 100 and then 50. In the middle pairing, we will favor the neck pickup. So we'll have 100% on the neck, 50% on the bridge, again with the tone knob at 100 and then 50. And in the last pairing, we will favor the bridge pickup, 100%, 50% on the neck, again with the tone knob at 100% and then at 50. Now on this playing example, I am using the low B string probably more than I should, but we are demoing a 5 string after all. So if you really want to appreciate the low notes, headphones or quality speakers are highly recommended. Here we go. I hope you enjoyed that playing example. Please let me know what you thought of the tones by leaving a comment below. All right, my assessment. Let's talk about some of the good things. This bass is very compact and very lightweight. In terms of overall length, from the bottom strap pin to the edge of the headstock, it's measuring about 39 inches. So the good thing about that is it should fit in most electric guitar gig bags. So if you're traveling, flying, and overall just need a small compact bass that will fit in a hatchback or fit into the overhead compartment on an airplane, then this will fit in a guitar bag. So it will make getting it back and forth considerably easier than a longer bass bag. In terms of weight, this particular example came in at 6 pounds and 15 ounces. So just a hair under 7 pounds. And it balances quite well. It has a very comfortable neck to play, and if you are used to Ibanez sound gear style necks, then you will feel right at home with this. In terms of the sounds, I think this bass sounds the best with both pickups on. And there, with the tone knob all the way up, you probably get the maximum potential you can from this bass. However, when I play 5-string or switch to a 5-string, my head and my imagination tends to gravitate towards more sizzly sounding 5-string. So like with a more pronounced, hype, snappy high end. So this bass doesn't quite have that kind of 5-string sizzle that I typically hear in my head. And even with the tone knob all the way up, the highs still sound a bit on the muted side. And you can hear it in both the soloed and the track examples. Now, when we favor the neck pickup, so if you're after a little more kind of a P-bass type sound, this particular bass had a bit of a mid-range honk that I felt didn't really sit right. I think it's honking at the wrong frequency and instead just kind of doesn't sound like a P-bass. Now, featuring the bridge pickup, if you're looking for a little more articulation, especially in that low B string, then that's a usable sound there. In terms of B string definition, the scale length is 28.6 inches. So I think you need to go into this with somewhat tempered expectations. If you really smack the strings really hard, or if you are after a modern metal dingwall fan fret type low B string sound, I think you will come out of this disappointed with the Ibanez Mikro 5. So if I were to like really smack this B string, I mean, the notes are there, but as you can hear, it is on the flabbier side, and it, even in terms of string feel, it lacks the tautness of of a standard scale low B string. So I think if you play aggressively, pluck hard, smack the strings, or if you're looking for a modern metal sound, I'm not quite sure this bass will fulfill your expectations in that department. However, if you are purely looking for a 5-string to hit the odd low D or D flat or low C every now and again, then so as you can hear, the notes are there, but I think you do need to approach this bass with a lighter touch. And I think that's all a product of this being a 28.6 inch scale. That's just physics. All right, in terms of construction, the neck pocket is pretty good. And the neck joint screws came very, very tight. The strap screws came in very tight, and all the tuning machines came well installed. The electronics, however, out of the box, brand new, the pots were a little scratchy, but a little bit of deoxit or contact cleaner should be able to take care of that. One good thing, however, and I'll put up a photo here, is the cavity, although it's not shielded, was wired in a very neat fashion. In terms of finish, now gloss piano black is very difficult to do. And this particular example did come to me with some finish imperfections. And I'll put up some photos here where I intentionally tried to capture some of my studio ceiling lights, where you can see some of the swirlies. And this is all in the undercoat underneath the final finished top coat. And you can see there are sanding lines underneath the top coat. Now, this is not noticeable from 3-4 feet away, and definitely not noticeable in a live setting. But if you hold the base up in a certain, in certain lighting, you can see some sanding marks underneath the top coat. Similarly, if you look at the bolt-on screws, you will see some leftover primer or leftover paint or something that's clearly not black, but you can see it in the screw holes. Now, in terms of playability, this bass plays pretty easily. Now, I'm not used to such a tight string spacing, so it did take me a while to kind of get used to the very tight string spacing. But overall, the frets were quite level. The edges are on par with what you would expect from a bass at this price point. Nothing special or to write home about there, but also no glaring errors either. I will, however, comment on this nut. The slots cut for the E, A, D, G strings were fine, and I'll put up a photo here, but if you look at the nut slot cut for the low B string, you will find that it was not cut perfectly straight. It was cut on a bit of an angle, so you can see that the B string does take a bit of a detour on that nut. Okay, overall, who is this bass for? I think the Mikro 5 is for the bass player who travels a lot, needs to take the bus or has a small car or flies a lot, needs a 5-string, and needs something that fits into an overhead bin. This is super lightweight, it's short, fits in an electric guitar bag. If you travel a lot, this could be your travel 5-string. However, if you are looking for a 5-string to do modern metal tones, then I'm not quite convinced this low B has the tautness and the tightness of tone that will kind of get you that modern metal tone. But if you only hit the occasional low D, then this might do it for you. All right, well, there you have it. Happy New Year, everyone. Ibanez Mikro 5. Thanks so much for watching this video. Catch you next time. Peace.